Remember when Donald Trump pulled stunt after stunt to pretend that he had the support of unions? Like, do you remember when Donald Trump paid a non-union shop in Clinton Township in Michigan $20,000 to pretend that the non-union shop that he was addressing was actually the United Auto Workers, and they held up signs saying union members for Trump, but they were not actually union members? Do you remember during Donald Trump's criminal trial in Manhattan where he was convicted on 34 separate felony counts, where Donald Trump had basically actors who were GOP operatives outside wearing hats that said American worker, pretending they were working class people supporting Donald Trump? But on further inspection, as we pointed out on the MeidasTouch network, that the individual who was saying, I'm an American worker, was actually Vish Burra, who formerly worked for MAGA Republican George Santos and Matt Gaetz. Let me just remind you, we come with receipts here on the MeidasTouch network. And now all of Donald Trump's behavior is backfiring as unions are uniting and saying, Donald Trump, you are a scab. You have no effing idea about what it means to be a worker. You represent the billionaire class. Get out of here with your scams. This was Vish Burra outside of that bogus event that Donald Trump was trying to show the corporate media. Oh, look, there's someone who's got a hat that says American worker. And then they had all the right-wing media like Addison Smith right here go, Black New Yorker to Biden. I don't see you anywhere. I hope New York turns red because we're not voting for you. By the way, Vish Burra doesn't identify as black. Vish Burra identifies as an Indian American, and he's said that before on some of his posts. So let me show you right here. This is what Vish Burra said. This was not an American worker. This is George Santos' aide. Play this clip.
How was it seeing the former president?
Oh, it was absolutely incredible to see him on the streets of Manhattan, meeting up with, your working class folks here, the type that are out working hard at 6 a.m. It was my first time ever meeting him, and it was really dope. So,
what's your message to Joe Biden?
My message to Joe Biden: I haven't seen you anywhere. I hope New York turns red because we're not voting for you.
How you doing? All right, now let me remind you, and I'll pull out the receipts right here, of when Trump gave the speech in Michigan to a non-union shop and paid them, and he pretended that he was speaking before the UAW, and then he attacked the UAW leadership in a fake speech in front of the fake UAW, but the non-union shop, saying that you are striking for the wrong reason. Play this clip.
In other words, your current negotiations don't mean as much as you think. I mean, I watch you out there with the pickets, but I don't think you're picketing for the right thing. But if they endorse me, your leadership, you can tell them I said it, although I have a feeling they may be watching tonight.
And then Donald Trump would go to his various traveling fascist circus events that he calls rallies, and he would talk about the event in Michigan. I went to Michigan. We had an incredible crowd, and we talked to the auto workers. No, you didn't. You spoke to a non-union shop that you paid actors to hold up signs. Here, play this clip.
Here at all. I was up in the other day in Michigan, like the other night. We had an incredible crowd, and they were the United Auto Workers and others, but we were sort of focused on the auto workers. I said, you got to endorse Trump because I'm going to save your industry. We're going to have a thriving car industry.
And again, how do we know it's a non-union shop? Because we see it's a non-union shop. How do we know we paid him? Because we trace the actual payments that are being made. But you go back to Donald Trump's history as well. This was Donald Trump blaming auto workers when America was struggling back in the 2000s and the economy was teetering under George W. Bush. Donald Trump blamed the auto workers and said it was the auto workers and unions' fault. Here's what he said.
Same thing with the unions.
That's right.
They get their little 5%. They get another 2%. They get another 3%, 4%. Then all of a sudden they're making more money than the people that own the company.
Here's another clip of Donald Trump saying that.
I think that the unions are really, really hurting very badly what's going on with the auto.
So on Monday night, Donald Trump gave that bizarre interview with Elon Musk where Donald Trump was talking like Daffy Duck, and we've gone into that ad nauseum, Donald Trump doing that. But during the event with Elon Musk, what did Donald Trump do? Because he can't hold it back because he's such a phony and he actually hates workers. So what did Donald Trump do? Trump praised billionaire Elon Musk for firing workers who were striking for better pay and working conditions. Like, if you're a union worker, listen to this. This is Donald Trump praising Elon Musk for firing workers for striking. Here, play this clip.
This cutter. I mean, I look at what you do. You walk in and you just say, you want to quit? They go on strike. I won't mention the name of the company, but they go on strike and you say, that's okay. You're all gone. You're all gone. So every one of you is gone and you are the greatest. You would be very good. Oh, you would love it. But, you know, if you look at Argentina.
As the AFL-CIO wrote, scab recognizes scab. UAW did this emoji, but UAW then filed a federal complaint against Donald Trump for his and for Elon Musk's intimidation of workers through that interview in connection with Donald Trump's campaign, which they allege is violative of federal law. Here, by the way, is Democratic Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur, a congresswoman from Ohio. This is when J.D. Vance tried to approach the picket line for his performative BS way before he became the VP pick. When he this was October of 2023. Watch again. You could tell right then and there what a phony J.D. Vance is. And Marcy Kaptur, Democratic Congresswoman who's always been in solidarity with the workers, watch how she treats him. She knew then who Shady Vance was. Here, play this clip.
Very well. How are you doing?
Nice to see you, Marcy.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
First time here?
First time here. Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Of course. Yeah.
All right. What can we do for you?
By the way, RNC co-chair Lara Trump went on a media tour last night defending Donald Trump for praising Elon Musk firing of striking workers. This is the co-chair of the RNC. Play this clip.
And now, post-conversation, the UAW is filing a lawsuit trying to say that they were intimidating and threatening workers. Your reaction to this, it broke today, but you knew they would be listening second by second to this conversation and try to find something.
Yeah, well, of course, they're trying to find something to attack Donald Trump on after nearly a 2-hour conversation with Elon Musk where transparency was the name of the game.
So did you know that over 2 billion plastic razors end up in U.S. landfills each year? It's a staggering number, I know, and it's just one of the many reasons why we need to rethink our shaving habits. Henson Shaving is leading the charge in this revolution. Let's join it together. Their razors are made of aluminum with no plastic in sight, not even in the packaging. And get this, they work with standard dual-edged blades that cost less than 10 cents each. Once you have a Henson razor, you're looking at just $3 to $5 per year for blade replacements. It's a win for your wallet and a win for the environment. It's time to say no to subscriptions and yes to a razor that will last you a lifetime. So visit hensonshaving.com/Meidas and pick the razor for you and use the code Meidas, M-E-I-D-A-S, and you'll get 2 years worth of blades free with your razor. Just make sure to add them to your cart. That's 100 free blades when you head to hensonshaving.com/Meidas and use that code Meidas. So now let's take a look at what Governor Walz did yesterday. Governor Walz spoke before the AFSCME, the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, largest union in the country. And here's what Governor Walz has to say. Play the clip.
Here's a little fact that they just told me. By the way, my week has been very interesting since last Tuesday, as you might guess. But here's a fact they shared with me as I came here to make this opportunity to say thank you. I happen to be the first union member on a presidential ticket since Ronald Reagan. But rest assured, I won't lose my way. Probably should be a few more union members in elected office, President Saunders. We might want to work at that. I think I'm looking at some. So You heard the story. You knew Vice President Harris grew up in a middle-class family, picked up shifts at that McDonald's as a student. I keep asking this to make a contrast here. Can you simply picture Donald Trump working at a McDonald's trying to make a McFlurry or something? Oh, he knows us. He couldn't run that damn McFlurry machine if it cost him anything, so.
And here's what Governor Walz said about Vice President Kamala Harris's background as a worker. Play this clip.
You heard the story. You knew Vice President Harris grew up in a middle-class family, picked up shifts at that McDonald's as a student. I keep asking this to make a contrast here. Can you simply picture Donald Trump working at a McDonald's trying to make a McFlurry or something? Oh, he knows us. He couldn't run that damn McFlurry machine if it cost him anything, so. But Vice President Harris took that work ethic, goes to work every single day to make sure families don't just get by, but they get ahead. She stood on the side of the American workers, and she stood up to the billionaires and fought corporate greed. She led this administration's work to eliminate the barriers to organizing. And let's not forget, she cast the tie-breaking vote on the American Rescue Plan to keep public service workers on the job during the pandemic.
And here he is talking about Donald Trump screwing over workers his entire career. Play the clip.
When it comes to these so-called right-to-work laws that deprive us of the right to be able to form unions, fund what we need, Trump has said he supports right to work 100%. I saw our friend Sean Fain at the UAW had a name for that. He called him a scab, just to be clear. That's not name calling. It's an observation and fact, just to be clear. So, you know, you can tell a lot about people in their personal lives. He spent a decade stiffing service workers from dishwashers, waiters, and carpenters on his own properties to enrich himself. As president, he cut overtime benefits for millions of workers, and he opposed any effort to raise the minimum wage. That's all you need to know. You don't have to ask twice. We know who they are.
Let me share this with you right here. This is the North America Building Trades Union's latest ad exposing Donald Trump's treatment of workers throughout the years. Play this clip.
You are promising America tonight you would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one.
Donald Trump, he's not a good man. He's not a good person. He does not care about anybody in this world except Donald Trump. That's it. That's all.
A very clear and present danger.
Now he's looking to get in that position again to exert revenge on people. I go all the way back to the 80s with Donald Trump and him trying to, get his mug on page 6 of the New York Post. The only difference between the Donald Trump of the 80s and the Donald Trump of today is he feels totally free to let his dark side out. And his dark side is very, very dark and very, very dangerous for this country. We can't let our democracy that we've worked for and we've cherished just disintegrate with the wrong leader at the wrong time. I can tell you that he personally committed to me that he was going to get our pensions fixed. He understood who was affected by these pensions. He assured me, I'm the president of the United States, I'll just call Mitch, I'll tell him to put it in the bill. Is everybody gonna love me? Everybody loves me, right? Is everybody gonna love me? Yes, Mr. President, you fix the pension, everybody's gonna love you. That was wasted breath. There was lots of other things put in that bill. There was tax cuts put in that bill for rich people. Donald Trump promised infrastructure every year.
Infrastructure is the easiest of all.
Donald Trump was not interested in any of the policy that actually goes along with being president of the United States. Trump was interested in the pomp and circumstance, the plane, the helicopter. It's all about him. Donald Trump is incapable of running anything, let alone the most powerful country in the history of the world. And God help us if he gets anywhere near that White House in the future.
Here's Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago bragging about how there's so many rich people at Mar-a-Lago and how he's helping all the rich people. Play this clip.
Because you're all people that have a lot of money. I know 20 of you and you're rich as hell. We're going to give you tax cuts. We're going to pay off our debt. We're going to do all of
the things that we have.
Here was an interview I did back in 2022 with North America Building Trades Union Chief of Staff at the time, Mike Monroe, revealing how Donald Trump completely broke his promises and undermined American workers, while President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris delivered for labor in their first year. Every worker needs to watch this. Here, play this clip.
We had 4 core issues where we were directly engaged, right? And we were told one thing and then nothing materialized, right? As I said, the anti-labor bent, undermining the apprenticeship system that has worked for 100 years, registered apprenticeship system, infrastructure never materialized. And then he told our leadership, most notably Teamsters and others, that he was going to protect their pensions. None of that happened. And in the first calendar year of President Biden and Vice President Harris's administration, with Democrats control the House and a narrow majority in the Senate, they protected those pensions. They've invested in infrastructure. They've restaffed the NLRB, right? They got rid of IRAPs, which was the assault on apprenticeship. I mean, in 1 year, that moved. And that's what we communicate to our folks about. Cloud out all the noise. These things have tangible benefits to your life, to your family's lives. And this was done under this administration, despite all the banners and the rallies and the mastering of, language and sort of propaganda. Let's look at the results. And that's where we find ourselves.
Here is Sean Fain at the recent Vice President Kamala Harris rally talking about Donald Trump not knowing what about the auto industry. Play the clip.
That's right. Every time Donald Trump gets a chance, he trashes our union and he trashes the working class. He comes to Michigan. He talks about he's going to bring back the auto industry. Let me tell you something. Donald Trump doesn't know shit about the auto industry.
And this was a recent press conference with Sean Fain, Vice President Kamala Harris, and Governor Walz in Michigan. Play the clip.
Donald Trump calls me stupid. And you know why? Because he thinks auto workers are stupid. But we're not stupid. We don't fall for Trump's alternative facts, or what we all call lies.
Tell me what you think in the comments below. But Donald Trump, you can try to fake it. You can try to have your actors and pay non-union workers, but you will be exposed as a scab here on the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers together. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.